Welcome to your go-to source for all things fantasy football. Today, we're diving into one of the most pressing questions of the 2024 season: can Justin Jefferson maintain his elite WR status with Sam Darnold as his quarterback? Whether you're preparing for your draft or looking to make savvy trades, this video will give you the insights you need to make the right moves. Let's get into it. As we gear up for the 2024 fantasy football season, there's a lot of buzz and speculation. Today, we'll explore some of the key debates to help you make informed decisions that could shape your fantasy season. First, let's talk about the growing dominance of rushing quarterbacks in fantasy football. Over the last 2 decades, we've seen these dual-threat QBs take over the top spots on the leaderboard. In 2023, players like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson set the standard with their ability to rack up points on the ground. And it's not just a passing trend; these quarterbacks are here to stay. As we head into 2024, nearly all of the top-ranked quarterbacks offer elite rushing ability, making them incredibly valuable assets for your fantasy team. If your quarterback can make plays with his legs, you're looking at a serious advantage. Now, let's shift our focus to one of the most debated topics this season: Justin Jefferson's status as a top-tier wide receiver. With Kirk Cousins now playing in Atlanta, Jefferson will be catching passes from Sam Darnold. Darnold's track record isn't exactly inspiring confidence. The best fantasy season he's ever helped produce was back in 2019, when Jamison Crowder finished as WR26. That's a far cry from what we've come to expect from Jefferson, who's been a fantasy football powerhouse. While Jefferson is undoubtedly talented and could lead the league in targets, the reality of Darnold as his quarterback raises some concerns. There's a chance Jefferson could still be a WR1, but his days of being an unquestioned top pick might be over. Moving on to tight ends, this position has often been a tough one to navigate in fantasy football, but 2024 looks promising. Last season, we saw 6 tight ends surpass 200 fantasy points, showing just how deep the position has become. Even though we may not have a tight end dominate like Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski did in their prime, there's still plenty of value to be found. Whether you draft early or wait until the middle rounds, you'll find tight ends who can deliver solid fantasy production. This depth makes the position less of a gamble and more of a strategic asset this season. Let's talk about the Chargers. With a new coaching staff known for run-heavy schemes, it's easy to assume the team will shift to a ground-and-pound approach. But it's not that simple. While head coach Jim Harbaugh and offensive coordinator Greg Roman have had success with run-first offenses in the past, they've never worked with a quarterback quite like Justin Herbert. Herbert's arm talent is too valuable to sideline. So while the Chargers might adopt a more balanced approach, don't expect them to abandon the pass altogether. This means players like Ladd McConkey, Gus Edwards, and Herbert himself could be fantasy bargains this year. Now, let's turn our attention to the Chicago Bears, who made headlines by drafting Caleb Williams first overall. He's stepping into an offense packed with talent, including DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and rookie Rome Odunze. On paper, it's a dream setup for a rookie quarterback. However, rookie QBs often struggle to produce elite fantasy numbers, and Williams might be no different. The Bears' new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, comes from a background of running slow-paced offenses, which could limit the play volume and the overall fantasy output of this group. While DJ Moore offers good value at his draft position, relying on all 3 receivers to consistently perform could be risky. Finally, let's address a common misconception about drafting running backs on bad offenses. Historically, top-tier fantasy running back seasons rarely come from players on low-scoring teams. Over the past 5 years, only a small percentage of elite running back performances have come from bottom 8 offenses. That said, there are always exceptions. Players like Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry have managed to deliver elite fantasy seasons despite playing on poor offenses. The key is volume. If a running back is getting a lot of touches and is involved in the passing game, they can still provide RB1 value, even on a struggling team. This year, look for players like Ramondre Stevenson or Javonte Williams, who might be undervalued in drafts but could end up being fantasy gold due to their expected workload. As we wrap up, remember that fantasy football success comes from making smart, informed decisions. Understanding the trends and avoiding common pitfalls will give you the edge you need to dominate your league. Good luck this season, and may your draft picks lead you to victory. Thanks for watching. As you head into your fantasy football drafts, remember that even the most talented players can be impacted by changes around them. Keep an eye on Jefferson and the Vikings' offense as the season progresses. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the 2024 NFL season. Good luck this season.